How you doing? Rich here from RPW Media. Read our stories, rpwmedia.com. We give you conservative opinion and commentary every day. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe, click that bell, get notifications of new videos, never miss another one, and also give us a like. It really helps. Okay, so what do we have today? Okay, here we go. You knew this was going to happen. Okay, so the DHS, Biden's DHS is actually admitting that Venezuela is emptying out their prisons and sending their inmates to the United States. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so if they admit it, that means there's got to be a lot. It's got to be really bad, and they're trying to get out ahead of it. But I remember when this happened before, don't you? Yeah, I remember in 1980 actually, when Jimmy Carter. Okay, it was called the Mariel Boat Lift, and they sent a bunch of refugees on boats from Cuba to the United States. But here, Castro emptied out his prisons and his insane asylums. So we got the dregs of his society that came to the United States. Thank you, Jimmy Carter. You know, every time we have a weak president on immigration or pretty much any foreign policy, we get stuff like this. You know, it's crazy what we're putting up with here. So now we have Venezuela. He's emptying their prisons out. Let's get into this. Joe Biden is accepting anyone that can make it to our borders without vetting them. It's true. They're not vetting the people that are coming in. And people say, well, there's so many. There's about 8,000. They're claiming it's 8,000 a day now. Okay, well, that's not the vetting process's fault. That's the fault of incompetent law-breaking, lawlessness by the Biden administration. They're breaking every immigration law we have. As Americans, by the hundreds of thousands, have lost their jobs because they didn't want to go along with vaccine mandates. Okay, Biden is allowing illegal migrants to come over the border, whether they test positive or not. In fact, we did a story a couple of weeks ago. It was reported that since Biden came in office, about 40,000 illegal migrants came over the border, and they had COVID. They know that they tested positive for COVID, and they just let them in anyway. You know, now 19 months ago, doesn't it seem like that's 20 years ago? 19 months ago, when Trump was still in office, the border problem was resolved. I mean, he had remain in Mexico, and people said, that's just not fair. No, what's not fair is what Biden is doing now, where he reversed remain in Mexico. He got rid of that, and he allows them into the interior of the country. See, what happens is they come over the border illegally, right? They get caught. They get processed. They get handed a date, which is their deportation hearing date, okay? And they let them into the interior of the country. Trump made them wait in Mexico, right? Well, why is this wrong? Because you know how many of them come back for their deportation hearing? A big old goose egg. None of them come for their deportation hearings. Okay. And that's on us, because we put people in office that are allowing this crap to happen. So what happens is we had first Barack Obama did it, and then now it's Joe Biden doing it, where they give them a de facto amnesty because they're not sending anybody after them. They're not. We don't even have enough border patrol at the border to process them. They're being overwhelmed. This is why Republican governors in Arizona and Texas, respectively, are sending, now also Florida, are sending illegal migrants to get them out of their border towns into blue sanctuary cities, but they're doing it also for a point. And they still haven't gotten the point. And the point is, you know, start yelling at your own leaders. You know, start telling Joe Biden, hey, you know, Alejandro Mayorkas, DHS secretary, hey, you know, you guys got to knock this crap off. It's affecting us. You know, we don't care about the border towns, but you're affecting us now, buddy. You know, they're not doing it because, you know, they all stick together, you know, all for one for all. In the party, they don't want to trash them. So instead, they trash talk the Republican governors who are shipping their illegals to them, saying that it's un-American, it's just despicable. And yet they then turn around and ship them off somewhere else. But that's not despicable. The fact that Joe Biden flies illegals to destinations around the country in the middle of the night, okay, secretly in the middle of the night, like a Pablo Escobar drug drop-off, you know, that's no problem. That's not despicable. That's not un-American. Right? It's unbelievable. In 1980, Democrat President Jimmy Carter allowed Cubans to enter the United States because he was weak. Okay, now I love the Cuban people. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's communist there. and they have a special rule that if they touch American soil, they're accepted, which is fine by me. Okay, but Cuba's dictator Fidel Castro emptied his prisons and mental hospitals and sent them to Florida. He did it. We know he did it. Okay, naturally, a nationwide crime wave ensued. Of the 3,000 Cubans who relocated to California alone, 2,000 of them were arrested in the first 5 years. Of course they were, okay, because they were criminals. All right. Other states reported similar devastating situations. You have to wonder, though, how many other countries are doing this. Think about that. You have countries now that see we have a weak president. He has opened the borders. I mean, we have Jamaicans coming in. What, did they swim to South America just to come up through the southern border? I mean, Jamaicans, really? It's an island. How the hell did they get here? But we have them flooding in through the southern border. We also have known terrorists coming through the southern border. Okay, we have some really bad people, but you know what? The Democrats think of them as unregistered Democrats, and so they want to give them amnesty. Along with their amnesty papers, they want to give them a voter registration card. You know, and if they tell you anything different, if anybody disagrees with me on that, then I have some wonderful miracle supplements I would like to sell you. Okay? Because you're just not in touch with reality. This is what the Democrats are doing. They like to say, oh, they're calling it replacement theory, even though they talk about it all the time themselves. And so they're just bringing these people in. 4.9 million illegals came in since 18 months since Joe Biden's been in office. 2 million this year alone. He's causing so much havoc and chaos in border towns. And now, apparently, in sanctuary cities. You know, the border towns are seeing 8,000 a day come in. And then they have the residuals from the days before that came in that never left. You know, they haven't been flown out yet. That's a lot of people, right? And so they're overwhelmed. Well, Lori Lightfoot couldn't take 50 to 100. You know, Eric Adams said, this is horrific when he was getting like 100. Well, I think he just got 4 or 5 busloads. Or no, he got 9 busloads with like 50 people on each one. He's got like 450 people today coming in alone. You know, and he's talking about putting them on. We have another story today that I'll put out, that I'll put the link in the bottom, where he's talking about putting them on cruise ships. They're going to bring cruise ships down and put their illegals on the cruise ships. I mean, the last thing these guys thought of when they were sneaking over our borders, they would be welcomed with, ahoy! You know, but this is what happens when you have weak leadership, when you have a desperate party that has lost touch with the American voter and will do anything to win an election. So if you get assaulted by an illegal migrant, and he's from Venezuela, now you know why. All right, have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye.